Let's go to Tommy in Pittsburgh, PA. What up, Tommy?
How's it going, Dr. John?
Rocking on to the break of dawn, my man. What are you doing?
I am in the Florida Keys on vacation, so good times.
Well, thanks for kicking us while we're down. Hope that was fun for you.
Right.
Hope that was fun for you. We're all at work, Tommy. Real cool, man. Real cool. What's up?
So I'll just get into my question here. I huge fan. I've bought your book, listened to all your stuff, and it's really helped me grow and find a lot of peace. But the question is, the more your material and just psychology material in general I read, it seems like everything that makes up who we are comes from our upbringing and our environment and experiences. Nothing we do is really by our hand. And looking around, I feel guilty for how good I've always had it. I'm so high on life when it seems like so many people are so low. And this can also manifest itself in feeling incredibly responsible for some of the relationships in my life.
Man, there's a lot here. Can I unpack almost all of it? Is that cool?
Yeah.
First thing is you're partially correct, and so much of who we are comes from the stories we were born into and the stories we were told. And I always make it a very intentional point to point out that also who we are is made up of the things we've done, our experiences, the way we see the world, the people we've hurt, the people we've taken care of. And so it's a mix of both, okay? So just to free you from any nonsensical guilt you may feel, every single person ever who's made it, whatever that means they got their first job as a plumber, or that means they're a multi-billionaire. They have had somebody or people in their corner. There is no such thing as a self-made man or woman. I reject that notion. It doesn't exist. It's a myth. Okay? So everyone had a coach or a business partner or a romantic partner, had a grandparent, teacher, whoever, walking alongside them, or a group of people, or someone who gave them their first opportunity, or somebody who said, I believe in you, whatever that thing is. And even if you didn't have a quote unquote person, you want to fight me on that, then I'll tell you that you went to your first job on roads paved by other people and use electricity on lines pulled by other people, and you dial into your laptop on a computer made by other people. And we can just go down the list here. And so the idea that you're sitting there, Tommy, and you're like, man, all these other people have just been doing it on their own and grinding it out, and I've had this awesome life where other people help me out. That's not true, okay? None of us got to where we are by ourselves, period. And you've had more of a head start, right? Tell me how you've had a head start.
Parents that always took care of me. They never got divorced or fought. Anytime I went through trials and tribulations, they supported me financially, emotionally. They taught me how to connect with people so I can have friendships. I've always been good at sports and connecting with people, can kind of pick up any talent that is thrown my way. And then I just feel like I've always just been able to like also just let things go and enjoy the things that I'm into. Like I said, even I've definitely faced tribulation just like anybody else. But it's just kind of like, how far do you go back? Like, even when I faced difficulties, I've had people that have shown me how to overcome those kind of things, how to look at the good, how to choose gratitude. And so it's kind of like everything that's good in my life, I feel like I owe to kind of how I was growing up. And even the things that haven't been good, I learned from someone how to overcome those and find relationships and make them good. So it's just kind of like I said, feeling guilty of like everything I owe to someone else.
So
nothing
all of us are in that boat. And what I'll tell you is, your parents have given you the world, and one day you're going to get hit in the mouth in a profound way. Somebody you love is going to die. 100% chance that happens. You're going to get fired. You're going to fail. You're going to violate one of your core moral values in a moment of weakness. those things will happen because that's the arc of life. And so while they may have set you up over here, they may have taken some of that burden from you, and it's going to hit you harder because it's going to happen in your 30s when you got a mortgage and 2 kids. And what I'm saying, and the other side of it is my friends that only had a single parent and they were working 3 jobs and they were left alone. And one of their brothers is in jail, and the other sister, they haven't really talked too much anymore. And they decided, I'm going to figure out a way to get through school, and I'm going to grind, and I'm going to do. They've got that side. They know how to get hit in the head, and they know how to get hit in the mouth. What they don't have is a path for how do I communicate to this group of people, and how do I. So everybody's got stuff to learn. What I'll tell you is your guilt helps nothing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got a couple of paths forward here, but I want you to start shifting really hard, man, from guilt to gratitude. Wake up every day and don't be like, oh man, I don't have any, my parents never fought. Thank God your parents didn't do that. Be super grateful that your parents are still married. Okay? What you're going to have to do, let me give you an example for me. I was real fast in high school as a runner. Very, very fast. And like full scholarship to college fast. And I was one of the weakest members of my Texas high school football team. And so I always have to put in the work where I know I'm going to have shortcomings. And so for you, as you look around your life and you say, okay, I got shot out of the cannon ahead of people in my class, ahead of people that aren't in the school that I'm at. I got a head start on this track. Great. What are you going to do with that head start? You just deciding to walk helps nobody. You deciding to help the people running around you, now you're talking about changing your community, changing your life, changing everybody's life. And so the question is not how can I tear up this lottery ticket I got and throw it in the trash? It's how can I use this for maximum good for me, my community, my neighborhood, my country, my family, and everybody in between. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to start choosing the hard path. What does that look like? That may mean your parents take care of all your bills. You don't have to work. Go get a job. That may mean that your parents bail you out every time you get in trouble. The next time say, I'm not taking your money this time. I need to learn how to deal with this thing. That may mean that you regularly surround yourself with people who have life harder than you and practice service, practice empathy, practice listening so that you get an understanding of not just a conceptual understanding, but a real hard-nosed understanding that the world is not, for most people, how you experience it. And then you start learning ways, okay, I can be of support and service here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd say like the second part of that is I feel like the reason I feel like part of the reason I feel guilty is like I've had that like punch in the mouth moment, like like suicide watch, like life sucks for like a month or a few months, and like now it's like I definitely like live with incredible empathy and gratitude, and so it's more so like just not.
Yeah, bro, but you're staring at your belly button.
Yeah.
You're grateful and empathetic towards yourself. And that just runs you around in a circle, man. You got to look up and see the world around you and get involved in other people's lives as they invite you. Don't come in as some sort of savior as they invite you. Right?
Okay, so that's the second piece is like the incredible responsibility. Like I have had friendships and relationships where I can see where someone's hurt comes from or like what they're struggling with. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, am I carrying too much of this? And I need to I feel like if I leave them, it's like just another person that disappointed them. Like I can feel that pain or like I put that on myself.
Yeah. I mean, you've got no business in somebody else's pain unless they invite you in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, I do this for a living, and it's really hard for me sometimes to be sitting next to someone I love or someone I care about or a stranger that I just met, and they're telling me what's going on in their life, and they're not asking for my input or my support or my help or anything. They're just vomiting on me. And I have to make a choice. Do I want to continue to get vomited on? Or do I want to step back and say, thank you so much. I appreciate your honesty. And you see what I'm saying? Like, I can't just jump in the middle of everybody's issues because then I'm using them to prop me up.
Mhm.
And if you feel guilty about how the set of cards you were dealt, and you're going around trying to solve everyone's problems around you as some sort of ways to make amends for all this good fortune you've had, dude, then you're using people around you. Very similar to
Mhm.
someone who's struggling with addiction, who asks all their friends for money all the time. You're trying to take something from them to make you feel okay.
Mhm.
And what that tells me at the core is you don't feel okay with you. And it could be from guilt. I'm actually not buying your full story, if I'm just being honest with you. I think you're super talented. I think you've got great family support. And I think you probably struggle mightily with depression, would be my guess. Am I right?
I would say it's like 95% of the time I'm really high, and then the others would be the opposite.
Okay. And then you feel guilty for feeling bad, don't you?
I feel guilty when I'm high.
Do you talk to somebody, a professional?
I have.
Why'd you stop?
Uh, so I felt like, so at that time I was like really low, didn't value myself, worked through a lot with like family and friends, and then went complete opposite, felt the best I've ever felt. And I feel like I've been there ever since, of like feeling good about who I am.
Okay,
But now I feel
hold on.
like I left.
All you're talking about is feelings. What are you doing?
What do you mean exactly?
You are being dragged around by a leash, and the person on the other end of the leash is your feelings. I felt really
Yeah.
bad, and then I felt really good, and now I feel great, and now I feel that. What are you doing? Are you in school?
No, I just, I finished my master's like 6 months ago, and I'm a fisheries biologist.
Okay. Are you working?
Yeah, full time.
How's that going? Are you contributing?
Yeah,
Do you have
I
good
think so.
purpose?
I feel like I create, like I'm basically, I get to work with improving fisheries so that people get to enjoy them with their friends and family.
Okay. Um, here's what I want you to do. I want you to step back and begin to look at what does purpose look like for you, man? Because it sounds a lot. I don't know, man. Quite honestly, I think you and I need to spend some more time together. Which means I think you should sit down with a counselor and say, okay, I've had these moments where it was really low. I had these moments where I was super high. And now I'm kind of leveling out into this is the rest of my life. I got my graduate degree. I got my job. And I've got a lot of good fortune that I'm resting upon. What am I going to do in the next stage of my life to be a contributor and not a taker? How am I going to be a maker? How am I going to be like someone who encourages others, helps others, supports others, and at the same time doesn't use others for my savior complex? What am I going to do there? And begin a relationship with a counselor, not because you're in crisis anymore, but because you are looking at heading off into what comes next for you and the world you want to build for yourself. You can't keep riding on mom and dad anymore. And they shot you out of the can in a profound way. Awesome. And hear me say this again. Walking around feeling guilty for your good fortune does not help anybody at all. Looking around, taking your eyes out of your own belly button and looking around at the world around you and saying, how can I be of service and care for these folks? How do I use this ticket for good? That's the greatest gift you can give humanity and yourself, by the way. And maybe therapy's not for you. Great. Get a group of guys and y'all meet every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Thursday night, whatever. Pick one night a week. You'll always get together. You'll always hang out and you be honest with them. You tell them the truth. You invite them into your life. And maybe if you're lucky, two or three of them or one or two of them will invite you into their life. And now you've got the making of a long-term friendship, long-term relationship, so we can go from there. But I want you to pick your head up and not just think about your academics and your life and start looking around. Start looking around. You got a gift, man. You got a gift. Tearing up that gift and throwing it in the trash doesn't help nobody. Feeling guilty about that gift doesn't help anybody. Looking for, where can I use this gift to be of the most value to the most people around me? Now we're talking.